Hello, anyone, everyone, all the ones. How are you doing today? I know normally Wednesday, Thursday is supposed to be our the last remnant run at the moment, but Cyberthos is mildly uh dead. I think it's the best way to put it. Mildly dead. Okay, she'll recover probably, hopefully, maybe. We'll see. That said, since she's not here, I plan to do something different. And that different is gonna be Spirit Island. Uh, Mildly necrotic. No, that can even describe her on the best of days, actually. Yeah. There's a nice little how to play here that we can go through. Uh, let's see. I'm probably just going to skim over this real quick for a refresher for myself for the most part, and then explain things as I go. Because there is a lot here. Okay, concepts. Oh, right. I forgot that that's how this tutorial's set up. You don't scroll forever. You click to a page and then tab over it. Alright, spirit panels, numbers, energy cards, powers, elements. Elements are important. I mean, all of it's important, but yeah. That's just describing some extra DLC stuff. Two invaders, board setup. Combining two adversaries? Oh god, I don't remember that being a thing. You gonna do one base game without the DLC first? That is the intent. I'm going to need to see what options I can toggle for some of the extra DLC setup stuff. Vader's starting actions, yeah. Turn order, there's the important one. Spirit phase, grow, gain energy, play and pay for powers. Fast powers, invaders, low powers, and time passes. Okay. One of the most important things to remember, and it'll trip people up initially until it's stuck in our head. Fast powers and slow powers are very important for timing. Okay. Good. Growth panel. Yep. Do the thing in the one that you choose. Gain energy, play and pay power cards. Fast powers, resolve the fast power cards. I think if I had the gameplay loop decently enough, but the setup's still confusing. Like I said, there is a lot initially going on. It's kind of why I'm happy there is an app that does a lot of it. Okay. Actually, yeah. Vader phase. Light fear. Okay. Like I said, a lot of this is me quickly skimming it, so I at least remember and can explain if anything notable happens during the game. Building. Force, oh. Okay. It's just a helpful little thing. Not able to account for unpredictable changes. So yeah, known effects. Hey, here's how things turn out. Landing markers. Low powers. Okay. Okay. Fairly small. Great and diverse because I'm gonna choose one anyways. No adversary for now. There we go. Oh, Vince is tied to Branch and Club. Okay. The DLC stuff off. Not going to add the reduced difficulty options. Just gonna leave it at base difficulty because, well, no adversary. Scenarios, add some extra rules and gimmicks to the normal gameplay. Not getting into those yet, but just to show it real quick. Like Blitz, all powers are fast. Yeah. There's extra blight, which can, you know, lead to death quicker. Extra explorers. Basically, it's a much quicker version of the game. And a bunch of these change rules like that. Not doing that right now, though. It says content from these won't be included. It looks like these spirits are still there. Expansion. Okay. I can order them by expansion. That's good. I think up to River is base game. Maybe only up to Oceans. Pretty sure it's an even amount of spirits. Oh no, it might be up to River, because Spread of Rampant Green was selected. So 9 right there, plus the one selected 10. Cool. You can choose which island you want to use. Different islands have different combinations of lands, which will affect how the game progresses, because the land type is actually very important for different spirits, different cards and powers that you can draw. So if you have a particular board, cool. I usually just let it be random. Right, can right click. This is the spirit I've used the most, I want to say, from when I was playing this more. There are multiple win conditions. Getting rid of all of the invaders is one of them. And related to that is the fear level. Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares plays heavily into the fear level. Instead of actually outright destroying any of the invaders, I generate extra fear. So, yeah, definitely playing to the fear victory with this one. Each spirit has, most cases, each spirit has 2 tracks up here. One for energy and one for their card plays. As you place presents, you take them off of the tracks up here, and as you uncover more of these icons, locations, you get more benefits. So at the start, I get 2 energy per turn. If I place this one, I will also gain an air element every turn. Elements being important for using your powers. If I place the second one, I start getting 3 energy a turn. If I place this one, I start getting air and moon, and 3 energy a turn, etc., etc. Same with the card plays. So there's some level of strategy to deciding how far up a track you want to go with placing your presence before switching to the other one. And those numbers are going to be different for every spirit. Like, Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares, you have to place 3 from this bottom track before you get 3 card plays. Thunder Speaker, you only start with 1 card play. You have to play 1 to get a second in the first place. You only start with 1 energy per turn. You have to play a couple to get, air, 2 energy a turn, fire, sun, etc. So the presence placing order will vary depending on which spirit you're playing and how you want to go about things. Some spirits are fine just playing 1 or 2 a turn and want much more energy than they do card plays. Some spirits just have a bunch of cheap cards, so they're fine with low energy but want a bunch of card plays. Yeah. Spirits all have their own little special rules down in the bottom left. Hence the Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares, Bodan. God, I forgot about that abbreviation. Not causing damage, generating extra fear, etc. Spirits have their own innate powers that they always have accessible to them every turn. You will see these little icons down here. Those are the elements you need to have for that turn in order to use that power. So, like, this white one is moon, and I believe this purple one is air. Which works out really well if I happen to, say, move the presence off of air, 3, and moon up here. I'll always have Night Terrors as a fast power. Generates fear. Every spirit starts with a set of their own 4 powers. You can see in the top left of each of these, there's a number and a colored circle. The number is how much energy it costs to play. The colored circle tells whether it's a fast or a slow power. Red is fast, blue is slow. That's just more at a glance info. It also has it in this little box here for speed. The icons on the left tell you what elements you get for playing this card. So, like, if I played a Call on Midnight's Dream, I will also have a moon and a whatever the red one's called, because I totally remember all the names of all of these. And that would add to being able to use these innate powers. So, like, because that adds a white and a red. If I also had the air and moon up here, that would be 2 white, a purple, and a red, and I would have the second power here. So the card plays get kind of important for not just their own effects, but what elements they add. And then, their effects, their range, who they can target. The difficulty 0. Oh, difficulty, the number will actually go up based on, adversaries, scenarios. Go down based on reduced difficulty options. I think I've yammered enough for, like, all the info we'll see here. Gonna go ahead and get into it. This should be a vanilla game. The invaders explore in the sand. Alright. Spirits of the island grow in power. Okay. So, by default... Let's see, does it actually say it here? Does it say on the front? So, each spirit has their own little setup. Put 2 presents on your starting board and the highest number to save. Can I see it here? 3D or 2D classic. Show land numbers. All of these lands are numbered, which becomes relevant for usually it's just setup effects, I believe. So highest number sands. This sands is 7. I put these 2 presents. If you have 2 presents on the same land, it's considered a sacred ground for your spirit. And some powers relate to sacred grounds. Like this icon here, I can only use this card up to 1 away from a sacred ground. This, I can do it 1 away from any land that has at least 1 presence in it for myself. 2 away, 0 away, so it has to be a land that has presence. Okay. Pretty classic. Yeah, I like the tilted style a little bit more. Not sure why. These little wooden pieces are friendly. They're Dahan. You don't want to kill them. You want to keep invaders from killing them. Invaders start in certain tiles. I don't remember how that's decided offhand. And then there's this nice little explore deck. Depending on what gets flipped, that's where they explore to. So if there is a tile matching that type next to a city, a settlement, or a town, a settlement, or the shore, an explorer gets added. So there was a sand next to this, there was a sand next to these. Kind of unfortunate, but I think that first one was going to be 2 explorers no matter what. I think if it was wetlands, it might have only been 1, because this already has a... Wetlands or forest. Double checking for myself real quick. Savage build. You... Accessible lands of shown type, entering forth from towns and cities. Oh, I had it right the first time. Towns and cities. Which either contains a town or city or is adjacent to a town, city, or ocean. Okay, yeah, so it wouldn't have mattered. There were going to be 2 showing up either way. Let's see. So I'm at the growth option. I get to pick one of these up here. Which becomes very relevant for gaining extra power cards. Gaining extra power cards, moving your presence, and getting that off the track here. Or doing some other effects. There are a few spirits that have extra things up here which become relevant. How do I want to start this? Right now I have 0 energy. I can do 2 card plays. If it's getting very good at dying. Yes, she is. He's one of the best at dying at this point. He's got Kavaris to thank for that. Plenty of early experience. If target land has Dahan, gain a major power. If you forget this power, gain energy equal to Dahan, and you may play the major power immediately, paying its cost. Or if invaders are present, do fear. I could go ahead and do the 2 fear. The more spirits, the more fear you need for terror thresholds. As you go up in terror thresholds, the types of units, types of explorers that need to not be present, reduce. So right now, terror level 1, there needs to be none of them. Terror level 2, there can still be individual explorers, but I would have to get rid of all the towns and cities. 3 is get rid of just the cities, and 4 is just a straight up terror victory. Can I look through that? No, it doesn't look like it. Oh. Okay, yeah. Victory when revealed. Each time you hit the fear threshold, a error card is flipped, has some effect, discarded, and you carry on. And yeah, you can see the victory conditions. And that's what Bodan's going to be working. But first I need to decide what growth option I want. Do I want to gain a power card? I've got 2 card plays. I'm going to have 2 energy. White and red. I'll be able to do 2 fear. Target land has an invader, so I will be able to do that. 2 fear there, 2 fear there. I assume your current spirit specializes in terror. 100%. Their special rule, your powers never cause damage, or can they destroy anything? If my powers would destroy or deal damage to destroy, I generate extra fear instead. And then I push any explorers and towns. So, destroying explorers, no extra fear. Destroying towns, 2 extra fear. Pretty good, especially when playing solo. That's halfway to another fear card. Destroying cities, that's an extra fear card plus some. Playing solo, it's the amount of fear is multiplied by the number of spirits currently playing. So, 2-player, that would be 8 fear per card. 3-player, 12, etc. So anything I can do to generate extra fear works wonders with Bodan. I won't be able to do that, actually. I'm getting ahead of myself, because I don't actually have the extra air and move. I would if I went ahead and played Dreams of the Dahan, though. Uh, that's up to 2 away. So if I gained a power card and added a presence here on channel 5, I could play both of these, actually get both of their effects for generating fear, and have enough to do 2 fear here. Would I be able to do... I guess also supplement some more passive spirit that specializes in the Han multiplication, if that's a thing. It can... Yeah, I guess it would. It it supplements spirits that work well on a single tile, or it's a great supporter for like nuking spirits, basically. Because if I would destroy something, I push them instead, which moves them to another tile. So if I can gather a bunch of explorers up, and then there's a spirit that's like, hey, do this much damage to everything here, or, you know, would deal a high single number, but you need more explorers around to fully take advantage of that, it works well for grouping them up like that. Uh, so yeah, I think the way I want to start is facing a presence. I want to go with the the energy track first. Place a presence there. And until you actually reveal new information, you can rewind. So right now, I could rewind that and put the presence there instead, or choose a different growth option. But once I click gain a power card and select either minor or major down here, then I won't be able to rewind past that point. To select a major power, you have to forget one of your current powers, which would mean uh, removing it, not just discarding it. Because you get your cards back from discard via reclaim options. But outright removing it from your set of cards. I don't want to do that yet. Major powers tend to have higher energy costs. And no, we're going to stay on the low end. I'm going to go minor. Bringer of Dreams and Nightmares, gain a minor power. You reveal 4 cards, you choose one of them. Based on whatever effect it is. It could be based on what elements it gives. If that plays into it, like I'm tempted to grab Call of the Dahan Ways, just because it gives both a white and a red, and Bodan relies on both of those. It says it says replace, not destroy. I think that would still work with Bodan, actually. It wouldn't generate extra fear, but it is a way to give Bodan removal. Ooh. That's super tempting. Push up to 2 pounds. Go to Road. Hi there. Yep, replace works about now. Hey, welcome to the stream. It has been a while since I've played, so this is a great refresher for myself. If your presence is present, fear and damage. If target land is sands or wetlands, 1 damage. Target spirit gets +2 range with other powers. That's nice, but definitely call the Dahan ways for Modan. I was going to play both of those. And as you play, it'll highlight what tier of the innate power you have elements for, which is handy. Like, it's nice to see that the next face-up card. I don't think I'm going to be doing that. Why? I mean, I guess I could. I'll have the fear for it. 2 there, 1 there, 2 there. Yeah, I think I'm still going to follow through on that initial plan. That's 2 away if I need to, if I want to generate more fear. Yeah. I'm second guessing myself on a lot of these things. Ugh. So, betas are present. Give me my fear. Guess I can go ahead and do this. It's not really good. I could have flipped one of the other ones. That's my mistake. That is something I forgot a lot initially as well. You don't have to flip the top one. You can flip any of them. And I immediately went to click and it was like, yeah, let's do that. Rushing there. I mentioned not second guessing myself. I should have second guessed myself on that one. Fear cards have different effects depending on the fear level you're currently at. So right now, like, it just gets the level 1 fear effect. So lands with Dahan have defend 1 per Dahan. When this gets earned. It's not actually active yet. Generating fear there. I hit the 4 fear threshold. I've earned this one. There's no Ravage yet, so the defend actually isn't going to do that much. So, yeah, I'll just have to generate some fear. If you want to delay that fear card, you could disable 1 threshold on Night Terrors. It's true. Could have. Thank you for the heads up on that. That's more strategy I wasn't thinking about. I'm sure it'll be fine on this, though. I do appreciate it, seriously. Used all the fast powers. It's automatically jumping to invader phase. So Fear lands with Dahan have defend 1 per. Invaders are building in the sands. Invaders are exploring wetlands. I swear they're mermen, the way they rise up out of the ocean like that. Didn't actually have any slow powers, but kind of skipped over that step. It exists, it's just nothing happened during it. Okay. Slow power, 2 damage, push it to 2. That's 1 away from Sacred Site. When your powers would destroy invaders, instead they generate fear and or push those invaders. Yep. They're gonna ravage sands. I kind of want them out of there. I'll be right back. Someone's dying in the background. She's at about a 3 on the dead right now. On a scale of 1 to 2, she's about a 3. No, a bit more than regular dead. I've lost track of where I was. Right, selecting growth. To regular. Damn. Okay. We're going to ravage in the sands. I believe even if you have Dahan there to take the hits, losing a Dahan would get you a Blight, or there being enough damage output gives you Blight. First invaders deal damage simultaneously to the land and Dahan. Then any surviving Dahan fight back. One per explorer, two per town, three per city. Two. Over 2 points of damage destroys one Dahan. Yeah, two or more damage is dealt, a blight is added. Only happens once. Yeah. So right now there's going to be a blight added to both of those. When powers generate fear in target land, defend one per fear. And then generate a fear. So if I hit the second threshold, that would be 2 fear I could generate. How far away? 0. Currently right there. That would only be 1 defend, which wouldn't block enough if I did that there. I could reclaim 1, which... That doesn't have any Dahan, though, which would... That's 0. That would only add a presence at 0, so I wouldn't be able to get there. Oh, no, that's only in target land. Right. Not in general. That's only target land. Reading the entire card, very important. Uh, any guaranteed way for that? Did I go that way? I could have selected that one last turn. I'm good. Game's complicated enough. I realized I was overcomplicating it. That's a slow power, so that'd be after the Ravage. Reading the card does, in fact, explain the card. Surprisingly enough. I try my shot at getting another minor card for potential defend, or do I let the blight happen? I need to double check on cascading, not options, how to play, on cascading blights. Yeah, both of those not great. Goes here, destroys a presence. If I let damage here, it destroys a presence. If I let damage here, cascading blight. Claiming both doesn't really do me or help me anything. I do want to use Dread Apparition. I think I see what I draw from gaining a power and adding a presence. I think that's my best bet for preventing the blight. For starting board +1. Any blight removed from the board returns here. Right now there's 3 blight on it, so if I light this cascade, it drops to 1. If I let this one take damage, it goes to only 2. But I lose my sacred sight. Yeah, I think I tried this. Well, the only fast one I have, called Elisha. Push 1 explorer's town, herd a Han. Now, I could actually push. Is that 1 away and it has to have Dahan? If I couldn't push this one, I could push both of these. Either Sweatland or the forest over here. That would protect that one. And then I could Dread Apparition. How much energy does it cost? 0. Then I could Dread Apparitions here and protect that one. The toss-up on this being... There's only one more level 1 explorer. It's either going to be a mountain or a forest. If it's a forest, this is going to be awful to push it here. Or push both of them here. If it's a mountain, doesn't really do anything on the explorer step. If I push them here, that's going to make the build worse, though, for the wetlands. And then the eventual ravage on the wetlands is going to be dreadful. A guaranteed bad or risk of even worse. Still going with it, though. Then I'm adding a present. I'm still gonna work my way up the energy track to at least get to Moon. Because having the guaranteed Moon and Air every turn will be nice. Where do I want to put this, though? If I put it in 4, I'll at least have all of the lands within 1 reach. And I'm planning on defending that anyways. And I would need to do that for Night Terrors. So, yeah. That works out well for what I would want. Because I will be pushing these out of the way. They're not going to ravage here. Going to be defending here for 2. Which will mean only 1 damage gets through. And that's not enough for Blight. It 2 between Dread Apparitions and Night Terrors. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what I go for. There's that. There's the 2 defend. I can push them separately. It's not like having 2 towns here will cause there to become 2 cities. So at least if it does build there, I can prep for the Ravage on that. And then pushing this Explorer here. Often which called Isolation said up to, but strong regardless. It is strong regardless. It would be a lot better if it was up to. Because then this extra Explorer would be fine just sitting here. I think if Forest does come up, I'll have enough to deal with as it is. Even the 1 extra might be a nuisance. This wetland is going to get a town either way. Should put it up to 3. This Explorer would put it at 4. This, if a forest is drawn, though, it's already at 2-4. City would put it at 7. This would put it at 8. The forest might just have to be potentially written off as a lost cause, actually. For the time being. I do have Call of the Dahan Ways, though. I think I'm going to shove it into the forest and hope for a mountain there. Otherwise, just accept that the forest is dreadful. It should be cut off from the rest of the island. Alright. Yeah, that's about right. I wasn't accounting for the Explorer adding one there as well. I was just thinking about the build. Presence to land with the Han or invaders and get energy. Would that be helpful here? Ravaging the wetlands. This poor little Dahan is not surviving that. Unless I do grab the defend. How far out would that have to be? One away. I wouldn't be able to defend enough on that. Zero. That's a gather. I could get the Dahan out of there. This Ravage. I could potentially defend against. I only get 2 card play. I want to get Call of the Dahan Ways out here. This 2 moon should be very easy to. That's from a sacred site. 2 damage, push up to 2 Dahan. Again, slow though. Do I just take the hits on these? God, yeah. I feel like I definitely would have been doing this a lot better previously. My time away from this game is definitely dulled a game. Definitely dulled my game. I would leave this at 1. If I just accept that both of these are getting blighted, I would lose this presence. So. They're building in the jungle. I could use Call of the Dahan Ways to replace the town that sprouts up here with a Dahan. Predatory Nightmares for some damage here? Hmm. Wouldn't be pushing anything. But the 2 damage on a town would quote unquote destroy it, which would get me 2 extra fear. I take from the moon track, or from the energy track, that would have moon and air. And with Call of the Dahan Ways, that would be... Actually, with both of these, that would be the level 3 Night Terrors. So that'd be 3 fear. Right? Wouldn't it? No, I don't have the second air. Never mind. That would only be level 2 still. Hmm. Land with the Hanor invaders. I don't need the +2 energy. I do want to place suppressants. Not like I'm going to reclaim all. I could reclaim 1. Reclaiming 1 help with this mess. Actually, looking at it, we have hit the hour, and Twitch likes to do the ad thing, so going to take a quick 5-minute break. Might give me a chance to think about what I'm doing here anyways. So I will be back in a few to let Twitch do its thing. Loop. Alright, I am back, and I think I have an idea. It's still playing very reactionary, but it will at least protect this presence on 5. This this Dahan here on 2, I don't think I could do enough of. Is at most, if I grabbed Dread Apparitions, I could drop 4 fear here, and there's going to be 6 damage. That 4 fear would only be 4 defend. There would still be 2 damage going through. The Dahan is dead either way. There will be blight. But if I reclaim Dread Apparition, play that and Call of the Dahan Wave, I can Dread Apparitions here on 5, which will be enough defense. Thank you, Drake. Which will be enough defense to protect that. And then on the slow phase, Call of the Dahan Waves to turn the town here on 3 that's going to be coming up into a Dahan. So I do think I'm going to go that route. I want to reclaim 1, Dread Apparition, add a presence, give me my moon, and I'll at least have a sacred site out here, so everything's 1 away from a sacred site at this point. Play Dread. Play all of the Dahan Ways. Me gaining an element I have at least 1 of is irrelevant at this point, but that can be useful if I'm 1 air short. Well, yeah, because I should be able to get the 3 moon threshold, even if I don't have the 2 moon 2 air, I believe. We'll see if that actually comes up. But yes. So, finish playing cards. And here. That gets an extra fear card. I throw a bunch of fear here for the actual defense. I've got that one already. I'm gonna go ahead and flip this next one, because I'm only 1 fear away on that. And earning that will put it at level 2 here. Each player removes 1 blur or town from an inland land, which would be not on the coast, but not from 1, 2, or 3 here. Click an element to gain it. It's pretty irrelevant for these. They've already got enough moon. Let's get more moon. Each player may push one explorer into a land with more town or cities than the land it came from. Hmm. I mean, this wetland's already screwed. I'm planning around naturalizing the town here. I guess if I push this. I keep getting so rudely interrupted by a person dying. I guess if I pushed this one, that would skip the build there entirely. I could naturalize one of these instead. Target land. I would not. Target land already has to have Dahan. I would not be able to naturalize one of these. So leaving that there to do anything with Call of the Dahan ways. Do I want to push one of these? This is getting overwhelmed anyways. I'll go ahead and do that. Invaders are ravaging. That's unfortunate here, but that's defended. Exploring sands. And now there's an explorer back in my original sacred site. I am going to do that. Turn you into Dahan. Okay. Do I care about having 4 energy a turn, or do I start working up card play? I think I start working up towards card plays. Because unless I'm spending a lot of energy per turn, which I'm not, the +3 will be building up nicely as it is. It's actually going to be a little irrelevant on this round. I think I'm going to just reclaim cards and gain a power card anyways. Each player removes 1 from an inland land. That'll be before the build, so I could remove this and it'll just get replaced. Or I could remove this explorer and there won't be any build here at all, but then there's a city built on 4. That's definitely coming up. I by default, I have +1 fear at this point. I try my luck with a major power? Hmm. I might need to see what I can get from the major powers to deal with either of those when they become bigger issues. I don't know which one I would forget, though. I'd be leaning towards Call to Isolation. But yeah, Call to Isolation and Call of the Dahan Ways kind of work against each other. Hmm. Yeah, I will see what major I get. Hello, excuse me. Back in a sec. Alright, I'm back. Yes, terrifying nightmares. What was I about to say? This doesn't say for fear instead, so that would be just an additional for fear. So if I've got 4 moon with this, that's 6 fear and pushing up to 4 explorers and towns. That's massive. I'm going to look at the rest just in case, but considering playing Bodan, that's playing that and resolving it as many times as possible. There's a win. Replace a city with 2, replace a town with 1, replace a Dahan with. And then push all explorers from target land to as many different lands as possible. Hmm. That would be a way to deal with um, either this wetland or this forest. But it's not what I will be going for. No, 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 no. No. I meant to right click that. No, 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 no. Oh, that. Undo. Let me undo. Okay. Thank you, undo button. What I wanted to do was pull up the card. You and target spirit may use each other's presence to target powers only. Target spirit gains a power card. You gain one of the power cards they did not keep. That's an interesting little effect. You and target spirit each gain 3 energy and may gift each other 1 power card from hand. That could lead to some interesting effects with the innate power cards being handed around. Or your default power cards. Terrifying nightmares, simple, straightforward. Duel the fear. Vengeance of the dead. After town cities or 3 fear. That's not bad. After town city or Dahan are destroyed in target land, 1 damage per 1 destroyed. This cannot trigger itself. But no, going with terrifying nightmares. And I think I will be getting rid of Call to Isolate. So let's play ourselves one of those. I could go ahead and call the Dahan Ways again. Player removes 1 from an inland land. This 2 damage would go for more fear, though. Ravage. This is definitely getting ravaged. This is losing Explorer. That's fine. I can use Terrifying Nightmares to clear out 4. So that build just straight up won't happen. Ooh, that's a dirty solution. Or a dirty option. I don't know if I would say solution. this could generate 6 fear. And then push both of these over here to 3. And then I could Dreams of the Dahan to generate 3 more fear. That would generate, what, 9 fear? Which would be 3 more cards. 1, 2, 3. Like, that might be something if it was going to end the game, but I don't think I necessarily want to do that right now. No, I think I want to use a power that has white and red. Moon and east, question mark? Yeah. Uh, I can't really do predatory nightmares. I'm only gonna have 5 power. This is gonna use up 4 of it. So it really is gonna be Call on Midnight's Dream or Call of the Dahan Ways. Gonna generate 6 right now. It'll only be the 1 extra card. This wouldn't push it over into a new one. Yeah, I'm gonna go Call of the Dahan Ways. See what crops up and get rid of a town as needed. Oh, that's after payment. I would have had the 2 for that. Oh, For some reason I was thinking that was before. What happens when you break? How is it just... In that case, the 2 damage wouldn't destroy, but it would push. Back in a sec. I still think I'm going to go with Call of the Dahan Wave. It'll help get rid of the town, and it'll leave energy, so if I do end up reclaiming Terrifying Nightmares next round, I can play it again. Which can be very relevant considering how much fear it puts out. Finish playing cards. I want to make sure I use this first, because I need 4 moon for the threshold. Gonna get that, gonna get that. Let's see what this one's gonna be. Player chooses a different land with Dahan, and each 1 damage per Dahan there. Huh. And gain 1 moon. I still think I want to push this one because it'll just skip the build phase on it. Yeah. Trying to push from here, it's not going to change anything ravage-wise. Ooh, but now you can push into land 3. I could. But that would still... it would still add up light there. Wouldn't it? Yeah. And I would lose 2 Dahan. So that last Dahan would cause fear there. Have you used Night Terrors already? No. I have not. Oh, because that would go to that one. Each player chooses a different... You're right, you're right. Nope, yep. New information. Reassess. Yes. Good call. I blame dealing with a sick person. Because it's a very convenient excuse to, you know, not accept responsibility myself. I also can't use Night Terrors on 3. It doesn't matter, because I'm going to get the card either way. Not accepting responsibility. Yes, I know that it's on me for blanking on all. Removes 1 explorer down from inland. I don't get to know what that one is. Could remove from here to just skip the build altogether. I don't think that'll be an issue, because next turn I can Red Apparitions to defend this, and then the Dahan can deal with the town that pops up, and that'll help generate fear. But I don't think I actually want to remove from there. So let's remove from here. Each player chooses a different land to isolate. Also, defend 2 in those. Oh. That's going to be all of the land types. Oh, you have some expansions. Nice. I have all of the expansions, but I thought I disabled the content from all of them for this. Like, jumping back in point and Drake being new to the game, so I was trying to show, like, a vanilla game. So if that's an expansion one, then I'm kind of surprised it showed up. Let's see, though. Oh, no, that's not going to be all of them. One of these is going to be coastal, if I recall. So that would be all three of these. And that can still be jungle, wetland, desert for the other two. Hmm. I think my friends are really enjoying... Oh, yeah. This one. Yep. I think I isolate one. Because one has no Dahan in it, so there's no, like, support-ish cards I could put into it. If it's coastal or mountain, then this is protected from exploring. Conversely, this already has explorers in it. I think the cards from Promo Pack 2. The powers or events so might not be able. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yes, this already has explorers. This has Dahan if I need to do things to protect it. I think I isolate one to keep it a pure little land over here. Because it has the highest chance, question mark, between coastal and potentially mountain. There's my logic for it, at least. Because otherwise, I don't think the defend and the isolate's gonna be too relevant at this point. 1 damage per Dahan. Damage. Yeah. I don't get the 2 because it's not through a power of Vods. Right. The 2 extra fear, that is. Look at that. Mountain. So that worked out. Then I can replace either an explorer or a town with a Dahan. I'm already planning on defending here, and that'll be good for that. I could just go ahead and replace this explorer with a Dahan, and then I don't have to worry about build or ravage in the mountains. Yeah, that sounds like a great option, actually. Because these can still be explore, coastal, wetland, jungle. Yeah. I go ahead and clear the mountain out. Dread Apparitions takes 2. Yo. I don't want to try to do the Reclaim and Terrifying. That would be 6, though. And I would get to push it. No, let's see what else I can do here-wise. Because how many more do I need? 4, 8, 12, 16, minus 1, 15 fear? Actually, I could go ahead and reclaim. Oh, fair. I could go ahead and move that for 4 and basically have the energy for terrifying nightmares every round. If I need 15 and that's 6 on its own, I could just rush that. Considering we're not playing with a bunch of the extra stuff, that sounds viable. For, you know, a difficulty 0 game. Hmm. Two fear. Either of these would be 2 fear. I would probably do that one to get the last threshold on night terrors. Yeah. Actually, I think I do that. I was gonna go with the defend option, but this feels like it'll work out better. Let's make make you a sacred site as well. Go with that. Because then I can just push them out of there, and it's not gonna ravage anyways. Back in a sec. Sorry, dealing with Sicky. Alright, I'm back. Uh, line of thought. Right. So, line of thought. Great. Generate a bunch of fear there. Grabbed this one for the threshold. And can generate more fear. So that's what? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? Out of the 15 I need? Is that what I came up to? 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah. Or I could potentially try to get a power that would only put it at 9. I don't think a minor power would be able to generate 6 fear. This is taking a major power for that. So no, I don't think I'm going to go the forget this and gain energy route. Oh, no, gain a major power. Ooh, I don't know if there'd even be another one that can generate 6 power like that easily enough. Actual order of power cards, not as shown. I know it's... I think it should be obvious considering it's a randomized deck, but... I wouldn't have the threshold for that. I wouldn't have anything for that. Wouldn't have that. Would I have a chance at that? That's 2 air, 3 stone? No, I would have nowhere near the stone. Yeah, I don't think that's a viable option. I'll just grab the fear from that and take one more round. So, again, definitely starting with this first. Let's go with this one. Each player removes an invader from a land with 2 or fewer invaders. Huh. And gain moon. Need to do this in any particular order is going to be relevant. No, because I've got 2 with presence and invaders. Okay. So let's go ahead and get these out of here. Let's go ahead and get some more fear. And get some more fear. Each player replaces 1 explorer city with explorer or town with 1 Dahan and land with Dahan, or adjacent to 3 or more Dahan. I mean, if I replace that with Dahan, I can remove invader there. Each player may downgrade 1 town or city in a coastal. Oh. Yeah, sure. Mountains. Explore wetlands. But it's not gonna matter because I'm about to get a fear victory. There's one card left. So I think we just go the simple route on this. Straightforward. Give. Add a presence. Any over here. And click the moon. Save that. Play. Oh, Wouldn't actually have a beast if I did that. Don't think it's gonna be too relevant, but you know, can't be too safe. Do that. Do this. Finish playing. Each player chooses a different land. In each, remove up to 2 health worth of invaders per presence. Oh, wow. That could be really solid. Huh. Then that. Generate all the fear. Victory when revealed. I apparently have not won yet. They're done doing stuff in stands, so let's push them all over here. Game over, victory, immediate win. Invaders' morale has been broken through sheer terror. They flee the island as quickly as possible. So you can see the state of the game at the very end. A whole difficulty 0 there. Island was still healthy. That's nice. Blighted Island. At the start of each invader phase, each spirit forgets a power or destroys one of their presents. Ooh. And if you run out of Blight on the Blighted Island side, you'll lose. So Blight management, kind of important. Statistics. Huh. That's a lot of energy gained globally. But yeah, that's a look at Bodan in a quote-unquote vanilla game. It has promo packs in it, apparently, but if I remember right, Second Wave... I don't remember Second Wave. This scenario is played as a follow-up game set decades later. You play different spirits and... Nope, not getting into that right now. I am going to go to the menu. It is about that time for Twitch to force its ads again, so I'm going to do that real quick. And then I'm going to take a look at some of the other spirits. Maybe throw in an adversary just to look at their mechanics. Random. Because there are a lot of spirits here. Okay, yeah, we'll be back in a few minutes after Twitch does their break, and I'll poke around at spirits to see who I want to bring. So, see you in a few. Bloop. Okay. I'm back. What else stuff is enabled now? Power Fear event and blight cards from Branching Claw, Jagged Earth, Nature Incarnate. An event card will be drawn as part of the Invader phase. Requires Branching Claw or Jagged Earth, along with a blight card. Okay. So a bunch more everything included there. We're going to have an adversary, which adjusts some rules. Additional loss condition. If the number of coastal lands with cities is ever greater than 2 times number of boards, the invaders. So, gotta keep the city clear, or gotta keep the coast clear of city. Port sprawl outward on the single board with the most coastal towns or cities. Add 1 town to inlands with the fewest and equals number of players. Okay. After setup in coastal lands, explore cards add 1 town instead of 1 explorer. Coastal lands invader cards do this for maximum 2 lands per. Fun. So coastal lands build quickly. Okay. I'm only gonna leave it at 1 for now. So I'm not really gonna go over all of all of these. Let's see. No supporting adversary. Didn't even know supporting adversaries was a thing. Kind of cool. Okay, let's see. Not gonna do scenarios. There are a lot of scenarios that do change up the gameplay a fair bit. What spirits did I say? Bearing Teeth, Ice Watch. This should currently be based on expansion 2. Devouring Teeth, Ice Watch. Fathom. Medical complexity expansion. Never mind. Now it's based on expansion. Devouring Teeth, Ice Watch, Fathomless Mud, Sunbright. Wasn't there? Devouring Teeth. Yeah. Ice Watch, Fathomless. Oh. Because Rising Heat's actually selected right now. Yeah. Devouring Teeth lurk underfoot sounds like a cheesy one. Well, let's take a look at it. Your damage dealing powers do +1 damage. Adds +1 damage total for the power. Even the power damage is multiple invaders or each invader. Okay. Growth options. Reclaim and add a presence. Power card and add a presence. 1 away. Add a presence 2 away and gain 3. So you're always adding presence with Devouring Teeth. Okay, if you don't have presence in target land, gather 1, and then 1 damage, 2 damage, 2 fear and 4 damage. That's slow speed, and target land has to have invade. Yeah. Let's see, a fear and 3 damage to invader and explorer and town only, not to cities. Once or twice way back. Again, it has been a while. I don't remember all of the things they do. The target spear may deal +3 damage this turn with one of its damage dealing powers. That's cute. A fear and a gather. Defend 9. Wow. You fear if invaders are present and push 2 Dahan. Eyes watch from the tree. For one of your powers adds defend, gather up to 1 Dahan that way. Okay. Flame, power, and energy. Ooh, presence. That can really accelerate the board. Or the tracks. Power card, presence, and energy. So, fear and defend. Instead, fear and defend. Okay. So this is just progressively more fear and defend. Get to defend 4. Or the target spirit may pay an energy to defend 8. That's super protective. Wow. Fear and push. Fear and damage. Gather up to 3. Then if there's also invaders and... Oh, if invaders and Dahan are present. Okay. Mud Otter. At your sacred sites, build actions, add explore instead of towns or cities. That sounds really good if you can get some sacred sites built up at key locations depending on adversaries. Ready for a moderate complexity spirit. Shark Fangs, great news. Okay. Thanks for the heads up. This is another one where presence is on all of the growth option. Which makes sense. That would really help with setting up sacred sites. One from origin to target land. Fear, damage, push, and 2 damage. Okay. And earth, water, moon. Which would be these 4. What's the hand look like? They pay 1 energy to gain a power. And then you may pay 2 energy to gain a power. Fear and push. Fear and defend, which defend 5 sounds great. Gather up 2 Dahan. If Dahan and invaders are both present, fear and a damage. These do all sound like really solid and, you know, simple and straightforward enough, like you were saying about it being beginner friendly. At your sacred site, invaders have -1 health. Flame, power, energy. That allows for some great jumping around, but it specifically stands at mountain. But Horizon Spirits is they're hard to really screw up. Not true of base game look. Yeah. Sounds like it. Power, presence, energy. Then just a bunch of damage from the innate. Okay. Gather up to 2 Dahan. For each Dahan present, push. One, explore town or Dahan. Target spirit gains 2 energy, or target spirit may pay 1 energy to do 1 damage in their land. That is a card that really only gets played for its elements if you're solo, it looks like. Oh, wait, no. If you're solo, then it lets you choose yourself, right? Oh, he's releasing fireworks outside. I hope they enjoy whatever they're celebrating. Gather up to 1 of your presents, 1 fear, 1 damage. Okay. Skip up to 1 ravage or build action. That's massive. That can be so useful. Wow. And 2 from a sacred site. You not that. Can I just look at the board? Yeah. Like, you get that in one of the center lands. Everywhere is 2 from a sacred site. Like, land 5 on this one. 3 and 7 are both 2 away. Everything else is adjacent. I think that's the case for any of these boards where one of the center ones will be 2 away from anything. That's an interesting design. Huh. If wind at their backs. After you add presence during growth, push up to 1 invader Dahan. Explorer Dahan from that land. Okay. Flame, power, energy, presence, or energy. Wow. Power card and add a presence. That energy buildup is insane. Sounds like Sunbright would do well with some majors with the energy costs on them. Push up to 1. Keep wanting to say invader. That's the general group. Explorer. Here, push up to 2 explorers or town. For each invader pushed, 1 damage in land it was pushed 2. Interesting. And 4 damage in target land. So you can split up a group and damage whoever's left and whoever's moved. Huh. Let's see. Target spirit gets +1 range. Target another spirit that gain energy. Target spirit may make 1 power that says push. May make 1 power which says push or gather. Oh. Make it fast for this turn. Okay. Good energy for majors, but needs lots of plays to make their innate strong. Both viable. Yeah. Choose up to 5. Push them into as many different lands as possible. That sounds like one of the minor power cards I saw last game. Where choose up to 5 different invaders in target land, 1 damage each. Okay. Yeah. Like, going either way with that sounds amazing for Sunbright. That's just really solid. Yeah, that was the last one. And then, since you brought up Sharp Fangs, your presence may move with beasts. Whenever a beast moves from one of your lands to another, you may be... Yeah. During each spirit phase, you may replace 1 of your presence with 1 beast token. The replaced presence leaves the game. It's not destroyed, so things with destroyed presence cannot bring it back. Okay. Reclaim cards, cost -1. Oh, pick two. Interesting. So that means this first growth option actually costs energy, if I'm interpreting this correctly. Add a presence to jungle or land with power card, energy, and energy. Okay. Then at a point, if you're along the card play track, you just get to start reclaiming a card every turn. Gather beast, damage per beast, push. Fear and damage, but remove a beast. Then extra fear and damage. Okay. You may gather one beast. If target land has a beast token, invaders do not build there this turn. Handy. Fear and beast. Target land has both beast and invaders 3 feet. Pushed. Word's hard sometimes. Push 2, explore, or town. And that. 1 second, sorry. Push 2, explore, town, or Tahan. Push another 2 per beast and target land. And if you push the invaders, 2 fear. Okay. Then fear and destroy and explore. Simple, straightforward. Which one of these spirits would you want me to run with, Drake? From Devouring Teeth through Sunbright. No, I would have to close out and open up the next one. Yep. Beak worm. Eyes in the forest. The trees have eyes. Mud otter. Flame salamander and kitty. Devouring teeth and do. Damage deals extra. Presence on all of it. Okay. Let's see how poorly this goes. Actually, let's go with Mud Otter. Mud Otter. Let's honor Dana. Okay, still presence on all of those. Sacred Site. Nerf the build action. Okay. Damage and push. Invaders explore in the wetlands. Oh, my first sacred site is actually on a coastal one. That works out well for dealing with Scotland. Considering the trading port effect. Because it'll just nerf the explorer back down to, well, an explorer instead of a town. Okay. There's a beast token there. There's a plague token there. But prompt for isolated land adjacent. God. No. How to play. Maybe a reference? Disease, that's what it is. Disease and let's see if I can find them real quick. Disease, a token that prevents the next build action in its land and is then removed. Okay. And a token that harms invaders and generates fear specified by powers and event cards. Okay, so beasts don't do anything on their own. They need other cards to trigger them. And disease prevents a build action. Okay. Kind of silly looking at it this way, how many elements are needed for that last one. The pyramid of elements. I need 1 water. Do that. I want to do build action there. That's only going to be another explorer. That's going to be a town. Just need to make sure this. As long as I keep a sacred site on a coastal one, I don't think there can be more than 2 coastal lands with cities. So that lost condition is a non-issue at the moment with Mud Otter. Okay. I don't need to defend. There's no ravaging going on right now. It's a fear and a push. Doesn't it default to... Well, oh no, I guess I didn't. Because the difficulty is only 1. So that part's not relevant anyways. Okay, well, my mistake. It would make this first one Explorer again instead of a town. Either way. If Dahan and invaders are both present, 1 fear and 1 damage. Two from a sacred site. Only push. Only place this would be relevant for fear and damage would be spot 3, I believe. I can't get Dahan to 7. Moon, 2 water, 1 stone if I wanted fear damage push. Could I do that with anything? Hmm. One away, if I wanted to do that, I would need to have a presence in one of these two. If I did that, that only with invaders. And I don't have both the Han and invaders except for this. If I push to there, gather there and get rid of the explorer? Because that would fear and damage. And that's if I could get the second tier of that anyways. Which, 1 moon, 2 water, 1 stone. Water, water, stone. Oh, yeah, if I played both of those, I could get that. Or these two. Hmm. Oh, but right now I only have 1 play. I would need to make this 2 plays first if I wanted to go that route. Then I get Earth, I guess? Or I could get Plant. I think Earth would be more relevant. Uh... Because I might just be overthinking this at this point, but also vents. Can't see events yet. Okay. So let's go. Uh, that prevents a build action. I'm gonna start working this way up. Then add a presence. Yeah, okay. Earth is a great one. Do I go ahead and make that a sacred site? Or do I go ahead and expand up that? I think I go ahead and make that a sacred site. In case the next build is mountain. Or next explorer's mountain. I was planning on going this route. How was I playing this again? I know I talked it out, and then I blanked on how I was trying to get damage on them. Dahan and invaders are both present. Right, I was going to use this for damage and push from here to here, and then gather here. Yes. Okay. Invaders build in the wetlands. Invaders. Hey, look at that mountain. You always skip the event on turn 1, by the way. It's just discarded. Okay. Use a land with it. Build there. Ooh. Beast chase up. I know this didn't happen. I'm just looking at what all it could have. Beast chase off homesteaders on each board. Push up to 2 explorer, 1 town from a land with a beast token. And on each board, gather 1 Dahan into land with Dahan. And that land, defend 1 per Dahan. Okay. A little bit of everything when events happen. Okay, so it has to work its way up. So actually, I could have placed this here. And then pushed it here for the sacred site. Okay. I will keep that in mind. From origin to target land. Oh. Well, if this is the target land, then nothing moved. Okay, yeah, no, that worked out. Click to choose the originating land. This one. Damage, and then push this way. Then... if I gather there, and I can at least have a Dahan, and I can set up the defend. Let the Dahan take out the town during the ravage. Yeah. And then from here, I can push this out of the mountain. And try to guess whether it's going to be forest or sandstone. Gather, gather. Only get 1 damage. I don't want to waste it, so put it there. Okay. Fear and push up to 2. Question is, do I think it's going to be sands or... I will go with... What's range on some of these? It's only 1. If necessary, at least it's that. Okay. What do I want to do? Got Earth at least. Moon into water. Playing both of those would give that. I don't have the energy for that though. So if I do the 2 presents, I would need to go the top route, top path. If I want to be able to get the fear damage pushed again. That's a sacred site, so the building is just going to be an explorer, not a town. Hmm. I mean, if I wanted to play this, I have to pick the 2, so I need to do this either way. It's the question of where do I want to put? I guess this would be the best place because it gives me sacred site in the center. Everything will be 1 away from a sacred site at that point. And yeah, I won't have the energy to pay for power card, but I do have the elements for doing these. So a fear and a defend. That'll clear this out. Then fear and a damage will keep this low, and nothing's building there. And we'll see where the next explorer is. Yeah. And we'll see how events screw up with the plans. Okay. Events. Spirit more loosely, time more than most. Warns of catastrophe. Oh, God. Warns of catastrophe settles. Spirit chooses. Let the warning waft into days past. Lose 1 energy and replace your most expensive non-unique power card in hand or discard pile combined with 1 of the same type. Reveal the top 4 cards of the deck, take 1, put it where your card is, and put your card in that deck's discard. Or add 1 omen token to the land without omen tokens that has the most invaders. After each ravage step, starting next turn, at each omen, 2 fear, invaders ravage, remove 1 omen. The ravage isn't going to be bad. So that shouldn't be an issue? So I think I head off the problems myself. Then prey on the heatless. In each land with the beast token, 1 damage per beast token. That's gonna be a waste, really, because I was already gonna have 2 damage there. Lands with the Han have defended 2. Of course. In lands with towns or cities and no Dahan, ravage actions do +1 damage. That's not going to be an issue this turn, at least. So yeah, I head off the problem. Add 1 omen token to the land without omen. No energy, no non-uniques, no lands with 2 invaders. Pretty harmless event. Yeah.
The 2 fear is kind of nice. I don't know. Oh, land without omens, it has the most invaders. So, yeah, any of these. Like, if I add the omen token here, this is going to be gone on the upcoming Ravage step anyways. So the extra Ravage will be extra irrelevant. Okay. Cool. On each board and land matching a Ravage card. 1 damage. Uh, I mean... Cool. It's an extra Explorer gone. Invaders build in the mountains, which... Oh no. Done. Okay. The build action there isn't going to do anything because of the disease. Don't have the energy for that. One from origin to target land. 1 fear, 1 damage. Because I can just use that to clear out the extra invader here. Sure, no Dahan, but oh darn. Yeah, that. You can use more power. Thank you, game. I know it was a mystery which spirit I would have selected for that. Spend no energy on, but... Okay. So I will need to reclaim. Probably go ahead and throw that at the energy board. Or energy track. 1, to build towards water, and 2, because your card plays with 3 energy. Compared to what? 3 card plays with 2 energy? I mean, it's doable. Again, I also like building towards water there. I could probably throw the defend here again, and that'll... Oh wait, no, it's ravaging. Jungle is build right now. I don't need to defend. I would need to play open shifting waterways if I want to fear damage push. Since I'm not defending. Gather up to 2, then if Dahan and invaders are both present, 1 fear, 1 damage. That's good anyways, because I can start to clear that out. The next turn, I'll be able to do the defend here. I guess this one, just because if I'm gonna push it somewhere that's more centered. Then I just need a water, and that's any of here and push. That's gonna do a fear. Look at me, still working towards fear victory. Would I be able to start clearing that out? That's one fear, one damage. That's going to be after this has 3 explorers. That would only drop it back down to 2. Which would need a defend if I wanted the Dahan to survive. I might end up defending there instead. There's no Dahan here. I can afford to let a blight happen. If I'm going to defend there, then 3 explorers isn't much different than 2 explorers, because it's a defend 5. So I could try to go ahead and get the damage on this town right here while I'm working on building up fear. Because then if that town's gone, then I'm close to the terror level 2 victory. And if I can keep towns down in the first place and make my way to terror 3, then, well, no, I would have to get rid of cities either way, but still. Yeah, I'll go this route. Try to get a minor power, see what comes up with it. Because that'll damage and push. I can gather there, damage and push, that clears that. Okay. I think that's solid enough. Stage 1. In each coastal land, push 1 explorer, 1 land inland. Oh. Stages 2 and 3. I mean, again, if this has 4 instead of 3, it's still a defend 5, so the ravage is irrelevant. Why was I thinking that would be stage 1 instead of stages 2 and 3? Oh, because I was thinking of fear, not explore. The top explorer is 2, so okay. Yeah, That's fine. Because the current Ravage is a non-issue. That's planning for next turn. Each beast token generates 1 fear if invaders are present. Oh. And moves to an adjacent land if not. Yeah, let's move it here. On each board, push 2 Dahan from a land with blight to land without blight. There were no Dahan there. Okay. Invaders build in the jungle. The Omen token did its fear thing. Disease prevented that. Sacred Site reduced that. Okay. Okay. Board sprawl outward. On a single board with the most coastal town to city, add 1 town to the land with the fewest towns. Would... No, because it's not a build action. So this would still add a town. Okay. Then those explore to mountains. Okay. How am I ordering? One from origin to target land. Outland escalation is silly in multiplayer. All the towns go on one person's. Oh. True, because it does say on a single board with the most. Huh. Okay. And then I gather here. Does up to 2? Yeah, up to 2. Go ahead and gather just the one? Just the one. Because then if I need to pull it elsewhere, this is going to be empty afterwards anyways. Yeah. That's a fear and a damage, which is another fear. Pay 1 energy for a power card. Yes. Minor. Let's see. 1 fear, destroy an explorer, or add a disease. Adding disease is kind of nice. Call to isolation. Oh, hey, we saw that one last game. Target spirit gains 3 different elements of their choice. You target another spirit, you also gain those elements. Interesting. That could be... very good for reaching threshold. Because, like, right now, I'm only 2 away from an extra fear damage push. And that costs 1 energy? Yeah. Wilds. Like disease, but prevents explosion. Oh, my mistake. I did misread that. If explorers are present, push all explorers, otherwise remove 1 blight. Let's add moon and plant. Which are both beneficial if I need them for the innate. That adds water and plant, which water's the one I need the most of. Elemental Boon doesn't really have any other effect than, hey, have some elements. I think I'm gonna go with animated rack root. Effect sounds nice, but it not adding water makes me hesitate. If I want to go all in on this, basically everything needs to add water. Well, I'm about to get a water there. I think I go for it. Less than 2 energy. Yeah. Click a growth group to... Let's see. I'm about to have 4 energy. I could play all 3 of these. If I go water and an extra card play. What kind of... How would that have me at? I'd have 2 moon. I'd have 1, 2, 3 water. I would have 2 stone. I would have the next threshold on that. Ravage. The defend doesn't matter there, and I've accepted I'm taking Blade. Build, that's only going to be an explorer. That's going to be a town. Then afterwards, I can both fear and destroy one of these, and then fear and push the other 2. So the following Ravage here does that. I do want to do 2 presents. And if I put both of them here, then that's just going to be another explorer as well, actually. Instead of a town. And explorers are a bit easier to deal with. So then I play all 3. I'm gonna defend here and laugh at 2 of them dying off anyways. Yeah. Yeah, okay. End there. Get another fear card. So if I can get rid of these 2 buildings, the town here, the city here, that's a win. Healthy island. On an inland land, replace... Ow. I still think I do this one because that'll still be 5 damage, which the defend 5 protects from. And then the 2 damage from the Dahan will take out the town, which will generate more fear. So it sorta helps. Invaders do not ravage inlands with... Okay, well, there's none of those. Each player may push one explorer or town from a land with Dahan. I know I keep putting a lot of burden on this Cinder Forest. But if I push that, the build doesn't happen in the first place. 1 damage will get through, which isn't enough for light. Damage, 1 damage. I could do... Getting rid of this town, I could honestly do this at 3, which would get rid of that town. Each player removes 1 explorer a town from a land with 2 or fewer invaders. Oh. Ah. It's tempting to click on remove this immediately, but if I'm planning on destroying it will generate fear, whereas removing doesn't. Where if I do it on 4, I can thin out the explorers between the fear effect and animated rack root. Yeah. Each player places 1 explorer. Okay, well, there's not enough to hunt for any, though. Goodbye, you. Here. Of course, it's coastal. Okay. In that case, probably going to go back to the original plan of foul vapors and fetid muck pushing you out somewhere. And instead using rack route to destroy probably this one. Is working on the Build and Ravage for the Coastal Land card. Either way, I am definitely doing this first. The originating land. 2 fear. 2 damage. I think I would rack root. Ooh. I don't think this one matters much. The build is only going to be an explorer because of the sacred site. Upcoming Ravage. Yeah. Oh no, I've already done the Ravage. No, it just got pushed. The upcoming Ravage is gonna matter. I'm gonna have to reclaim for the defend on this most likely. But that won't be for another round yet. Yeah, I think I go ahead and... That's 0. Ooh. I forgot to check the range on it. Well, I guess that narrows things down a bit. I still want to push these 2 away. I guess I go ahead and... Why let there be 2 explorers here when there can be 0 explorers here? I'll spread them out. Okay. Again, I'll need to reclaim. Want to add moon, or do I want a 4th energy? 4th energy really helped me much right now. Like, the +3 alone lets me play any combination of cards. Do I get the moon? Where am I going to be putting moon? I'm wanting damage. I could actually get 3 damage out right here. If I end up using open shifting waterways and the 3rd threshold of Breading and Dreadful Mire. Even more if I can manage to get the 4th threshold, but I don't think I quite reached that. I might reach that. If I do, that's even better. Because that would be 5 damage, and that would clear both the town and the city, which would be a win. reach that. Actually, definitely want you. What do I still need? I need 2 more water, 2 more stone. I mean, you add 1 to everything that I need. I need another water and stone. Yeah, I don't need the defender right now, but that's, if I'm looking at this right, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 damage. It's not going to prevent the build there. Which, if I can keep that at just a town, getting the fear for that would at least get me to terror level 3 for the win. Yeah? Yeah, I think that's the route I take for... Let's see how the Explorer and the events screw things up. I don't think the defend matters because both of the Ravage locations are empty, so doing this just to get the fear. Each land with 2 or more towns, which there are none. Cool. Plague brings fear and death. 1 fear per board with disease. On each board, 2 damage to Dahan and land with disease. We have no disease, so okay. During Ravage, Dahan only do 1 damage, but deal damage before invaders. Well, not like the Ravage is doing anything this turn. Each player chooses a different land to isolate, also defensive. Cool. What would be the worst to explore into? Forest? I don't think any explorer would actually do anything at this point. Let's isolate you. Okay. So this will be fine because it's still at a sacred site. Close enough for that, yeah. That's coastal, though. I don't really want to add to that. Gives... Ooh. Okay. Okay. Gather up to 2. Then if both are present, 1 fear, 1 damage. Just gathering 1. Fear card. Target you. This will be the origin land. Damage, 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 damage. That's a win? Because I'm terror level 3 and there's no cities? Go over here. Yeah, no cities on the island. Terror level 3. So yeah, fear still definitely played a big part, but it was less get all the way to the end and more reach the threshold of no cities. Thank you. Feels a bit like getting more into it. Or getting back into this things. Getting back into the thought process of plan everything out. Yeah. Drake bringing up interest is part of what made me want to go ahead and go through this again and get back into it. And it's been a while. It's a fun game. I just get easily distracted with other new shinies. I got distracted away from this. There was an expansion that came out recently, right? Which one is it? Nature Incarnate. That just came out a week ago. Yeah. But yes, that will be it from me for today. Thank you for joining, Sort of Rodent. Hope you enjoyed me stumbling through this mess. I appreciate the reminders, the heads up on different aspects. I will hopefully be back tomorrow. There's something coming up. My partner who normally streams with me is still feeling sick. They're the ones you've heard in the background dying. Slowly releasing for digital. Only 1 spirit and 2 aspects. Okay. So yeah, we'll hopefully be back tomorrow. Hope you have enjoyed. Normal shilling stuff that streamers do, like subscribe, follow, blah blah blah, all that fun stuff. We have a Discord if you want to join and chat about whatever. Has the bot actually posted it any time recently? No, the bot's broke. Of course it is. The timers are broken. But yeah. I've already said that. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you have a wonderful rest of the time zone. And hopefully, we will see you in the future. So, have a good one, everybody.